Alrighty, I'm working on my limit chains on the front end of this thing. So I'm kind of just mocking up what I want it to look like. I've got my lower one on this side, right there on the axle. The upper one is gonna go right where that white line is. And this side's gonna be about 22 inches. The other side's gonna be about 20 inches because whenever that side goes lower, that drive shaft gets interference up on the CV joint up there. So it's got to be a little bit shorter on that side. And the only reason I'm going 22 over here is just for a little bit more droop. And I don't want to, not have one on this side because I don't want to extend that shock all the way out, damage the shock. So on that side, it's more for the drive shaft. This side, it's more for the shock. The rear, I'm not worried about. It tucks up into the fender, and we're gonna do it that way. And yeah, limit chains incoming. All right, I'm starting to put these tabs on. These are actually safety chain end links for a trailer, but they also work perfectly for limit chains. So got one up there, got one going on down there, same deal on the other side. So we're just getting this put together, and I got my chain right here, 3/8 test, good stuff. So it's gonna be plenty strong for sure. My goal with this is to, limit weak points, because you could just drill a hole, throw a bolt through it, and it would get you down the road. But I want this to be not a worry, So it's being welded and good chain. Alrighty, I've got the chain mounts welded onto the frame, upper, lower, same on that side. What I'm doing now is I'm finding where I can go to full droop without binding this drive shaft. I'm trying to figure out the length of this chain, because right now this drive shaft is bound up while I'm at full droop, and that's probably why it was jacked up before, why the drive shaft was all jacked up. So I gotta jack this side of the axle up until that drive shaft spins, and that's the distance of this chain on this side. Alrighty, so I got my strap, just picked up this wheel a little bit, and it spins now. So there, spinning. So now I've got to just measure, and that'll be good. I am gonna go up under there and check that U-joint just to make sure it's not binding. All right, so this joint got plenty of clearance all the way around. This joint is very, very close. I mean, it's almost touching. You can kind of see barely a bit of clearance right there. Barely got clearance from the top side. But I do think it's good. So I'm about to it's barely got clearance. But, as I said, this axle is never gonna be this far this way. It's gonna be a little bit further that way. So I'm gonna go and cut my chain at the length where this is good. And then once I get it, actually, flexed out, this axle is going to be that way some, and I think it'll be fine. Alrighty, I've got my chains on. Everything looks good. This wheel spins, the drive shaft spins, and it doesn't bind. This tool, I don't know what they're called officially. I call it a descaler, but basically, if you're getting flux core off, it works great. So I'm just going around and hitting all my welds with this. Really cleans them up, and you don't have to get like a grinder in there, and it's just way easier access with this long pointy thing. Alrighty, got everything put together. Everything's cleaned up. I just gotta paint everything, and then I'm gonna go out there and pick up the front end and make sure we get no binding. That's what I'm really going for. So about to go outside and do that now. So we got her flexed out. Passenger side looks great. This shock is no longer going to full extension. That chain's tight. That's about 2 inches less on the extension on this side. And tug looks great. I might throw a bungee or something on this chain to kind of keep it out of the way or something, but Looks good over there. I'm about to switch, hit the other side, and make sure that the drive shaft still spins. I can tell right now this angle on this drive shaft is fine. Kind of gets in the fuel line right there, but it's not going to be a problem on the other end down there. We're good on that side. All right, got the limit chains put on there. Tested it. Drive shaft has no interference. Got to take a couple links off this side, but this is where it'll sit for now. Just got to paint the brackets, and we'll be ready for the road. But that's about it for this video. Get the chains in. The next video will probably be me wheeling this rig up at Golden Mountain for the Copperhead crawl. So maybe I'll see you out there. But the next couple things I want to do, I still got to go through the brakes because the brakes were never great on this thing, and they're still not great even after all the work I've done to them. So it's likely a master cylinder. Could also just be stuck sliders. I got to go and pull these wheels off, pull the brakes out, clean everything up. I'm going to wait till after I wheel it for the first time this year because I really want to get out there and I don't want any more delays. So the brakes work fine for now, and they'll be fine on the trail because they were fine last year. Anyways, that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all keep wrenching, keep it wide open.